BooTube, I am so sorry. I got distracted by apparently, you don't know this, but I'm an anime geek too, so apparently an anime that got pretty much remade that I watched when I was a child. Some of the episodes finally came out. I totally did not pay attention to the release date, so when I saw it, I geeked out and I started watching it. And I totally right when I finished it, and then the next couple episodes are gonna come up around 2016, around March. I was like, crap, I still have to do part 3 of this video. So it's like, I'm sorry, I love you guys. But anyway, let's get to where I believe the last video I left off with Carol discovering that Morgan is holding someone there that apparently needs medical attention because, as you saw, Morgan took the Alexandrian doctor. I forgot her name again. Hang on. What the hell was her name? I will not stop until I get her name. This is no bueno for me. No, that's not it. Ra 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 la la. Okay. No, Jesse, no. Who the fuck are you? Oh, this is gonna be a pain in my ass. I can't even find her name. Yeah, I'm not gonna find her name anytime soon. But that one chick that pretty much became Alexandra's new doctor because Porch Dick was a dick and died. Basically, you saw Morgan take her, and obviously he asked her to heal the wolf person that he's holding prisoner, because as you saw, he had a huge gash right there, and it could become infected and all that good graciousness. And Carol discovers this because she saw him leave the hospital with her, so she pretty much pawns off baby Judith to Jesse again, and follows and finds out, and oh my god, I'm liking that she's taking charge, but at the same time it's like, I'm not used to Carol being G.I. Jane-ish, you know what I mean? I don't know what it is. I guess I'm so used to her. I shouldn't be used to her as she was when she was with Ed. That's a bad example and all that stuff, but I'm just used to her being a loving mommy type. You know what I mean? Just not G.I. Jane. But I guess I have to get used to that because this is how it is now, and this is how she is now. And oh my god, it's dark. Give me a sec. Oh my god, let there be light right now. Look at that. But anyway, I'm sorry. I'm still giddy over the anime. I'm sorry. I am also giddy about the episode that happened last night. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I spent an entire video, part 1, of just mainly talking about Glenn. Okay, because Glenn is my boo, right next to Daryl Dixon. But anyway, I will probably have also a theory questions video. I do have one video, but it's not for this episode. I believe it was for episode 5 of Walking Dead. Probably have one for this episode because there are some questions I want to put up and maybe some theories and all that stuff that I want to maybe confirm that I'm not going to put on here. I'm going to put on a separate video. So, ha 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 ha. Anyway, basically Carol confronts him about it, and it pretty much stops right there. I think I talked about this in the last video. It pretty much stops from there. Carol has the keys and she's opening the door, and when she opens it, boom, out comes Morgan. And she's like, who do you have in there? It just stops from there, right? I think it just turns black after that, right? Doesn't it? The screen just goes black after that, and it just leaves it off there, and it's a total mystery of what happens afterwards. And pretty much afterwards, let's talk about something that I will most likely talk more in detail about with my theory video. Ron, Porch Dick's son. I'm gonna call him Porch Dick Jr. because he's starting to be a dick like his dad. But as we well know, earlier, Rick and Carl was with them earlier in the episode, but Rick was teaching Ron how to shoot from the previous episode because, Ron comes up to Rick, he's like, hey, can you teach me how to shoot? I want to defend my family, which I think is bull, which I will tell you in my theory video. And as you well know, in this episode, you see Rick teaching him, and you see Carl there standing, watching, and also somewhat teaching too. And as we also know from previously, earlier in the episode, we saw Ron tricked the lady, I forgot who that was, but she was guarding the ammunition. Now that she was guarding the armory, basically. Managed to trick her to look at something and, like, pretty much steal ammo, right? It's like, oh, obviously this is not good. He's been taught how to shoot by Rick, and he's stealing ammo. So we come back to right now. Ron is literally, from what we saw, because we see Carl just wandering around. I think he's doing like a perimeter check, right? And basically, all of a sudden, you see someone behind him, and it turns out to be Ron. Well, I think it's Ron. It's obviously Ron. And, Ron pretty much takes his gun out of its hiding spot, which is, like, in the back of his pants, right? Which is not a very safe place, especially if that's loaded, and the dude just learned how to use a gun. But hey, what do I know? He could have put the safety on. I'm kind of hoping he wouldn't, so he could just shoot himself somehow. But anyway, we see Ron apparently stalking Carl with what we assume is a loaded gun, because he did steal ammo. So this is obviously not a good sign. Obviously, Ron wants to take revenge. I was already saying Ron wanted to take a revenge for Rick for killing his dad, and apparently Carl for stealing his girlfriend, who I had no idea Enid was his girlfriend. I might have missed it, or it was just random information, but apparently he's mad at Carl for that too. So yeah, you see him stalking, and he's, yeah, Porch Dick Jr., perfect name for him. But, basically toward the end of the episode, everyone's just doing what they do, perimeter checks, helping fix up the fences so they can become stronger. And then all of a sudden, everyone just stops. Because in the air, you see a few of the very same balloons that Enid had strapped to her backpack when she was with Glenn. And not Carol, why did I say Carol? Maggie, anyway, Maggie sees this and instantly knows that, you know, it's gotta be Glenn, right? So she ends up running toward Rick and the others like, oh my god, Glenn's alive, that has to be Glenn. Balloons signaling, Glenn's alive, we're good, that must be their position. So, basically Glenn and Enid, they released a few of those balloons to pretty much signal everyone in Alexandria, hey, this is where we are, right? You know, Maggie, of course, realizes Glenn's alive. But right when she says that to Rick, like, Glenn's alive, and they're all happy, and Rick actually has a genuine smile on his face, all of a sudden, that church tower, remember when, one of the wolves pretty much came in with a truck and pretty much rammed right into Alexandria's church-looking building near the wall? Yeah, that very same church, that moment when they realize, oh, Glenn's alive because balloons, all of a sudden the damaged church building comes crashing down and pretty much breaks through the wall, giving the huge-ass breach in Alexandria. And next thing you know, you actually hear the moaning and groaning of the walkers, and obviously that means big breach, walkers are coming in. And that is pretty much where they left it off, and obviously the season finale is going to pretty much get into the fact that, you know, there's a huge breach in the Alexandria wall, walkers are pouring in, and from what I saw in the commercials, it's not good. There's this huge breach, and at least a good chunk of those, what was that thing called? I'm just gonna say that big chunk of walker mob right there are pouring in. And obviously, I know that they said that the walkers are spread out around the wall, right? But, you know, that was a big crash and a lot of noise. It will attract any other walker that is not around the breach. They'll get attracted by the noise and go around to the breach, and any other walker nearby that will probably go toward the breach as well. So it's not looking good for the season finale, and I'm kind of worried. I really am kind of worried because their walls are broken, and there's a big chunk of walkers, and there's not many Alexandrians left. I mean, a good chunk of the Alexandrians got killed by the wolves, so only time will tell. And that's about all I could say, really, because I have a lot of theories that I want to put out there, and I'm probably going to put that in the next video. So, this is my reaction rant to the end of episode 7. Heads up. Anyway, I'll see you guys in my theory video, which is the next one. And good luck to all of us for episode 8! This mid-season finale. It's called Start to Finish, and I'm kind of scared of that title right now, because the word finish kind of scares me. But anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video, and I hope to join you guys for next week. The mid-season finale. Glenn lives!